This is Wigan North Western. Both passengers here before your 08:13 departure. It should be a smooth run to Crewe this morning. So press T to open the doors. Headlights on by pressing H. And wait for departure at 08:13. So we are following along train 1 Mike 06, the 540 Glasgow Central to London Euston service. That calls at Glasgow Central, Carlisle, Penrith North Lakes, Oxenholme Lake District, Lancaster, Preston, Wigan North Western, Warrington Bank Quay, Crewe, and London Euston, travelling a distance of 401 miles. So we're taking the train between Wigan North Western and Crewe. We're on the West Coast Mainline missing link, also known as West Coast Mainline Midlands and the North West, which is available on alanthomsonsim.com, which you have to be a subscriber for. The next stop is Warrington Bank Quay at 08:24. So doors have closed. Turn the guard buzzer, reverse it to forward, release the brake and power to notch 3. So departing Wigan North Western, the speed limit is 80 miles an hour and we have about 12 miles to Warrington Bank Quay. When the speed gets to 10 miles an hour, I can put it to full throttle, so notch 4. And it shouldn't be too long before we get to 80 miles an hour. So line to the left goes out to Ince and Bolton and Manchester. And we continue to the right on the West Coast Main Line to London Euston. So coming up shortly should be Wigan Springs Branch Depot, where Northern stores some of their EMUs and 195s and whatever. And there should also be a junction going right towards Liverpool and Highton. Speed limit is at 110 miles per hour, and it shouldn't be too long before we get to that. So yeah, since lockdown a few weeks ago, services have been drastically decreasing because there's no point in running a full service if nobody's going to use it. So on the left is Wigan Springs Branch Depot. So about more recently, a few weeks after the initial lockdown, services have been returning to normal. Which is why Avanti are now running the full Glasgow to Euston service instead of having London to Preston and then Preston to Glasgow. So when the speed limit when our speed gets to 109 miles per hour, I can put speed set on. 7, 108, 109. So yeah, as government eases lockdown, more services will be able to run because people have to go back to work. Even if railways is the only means of travel, because buses are too slow because they get stuck in traffic, and taxis are expensive. So coming up shortly, it should be Golborne Junction, where the line towards Manchester comes off through Newton Le Willows. There's a 158 going from Manchester Airport to Barrow-in-Furness, formed with train 1 Charlie 51. Yeah, sorry about the lag spikes. I don't know what's causing it because there's really not a lot to load. It's mainly just fields and trees. Maybe it's because the route is like 100 miles long. So it's going down to 100 and down to 90. So yeah, the trip between Wigan and Warrington literally just flies by, because they're literally right next to each other, kind of. Well, in the railway sense, they're not that far apart. So stop braking for the 100 speed limit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 100. 100. There we go. then the speed limit is also shortly going down to 90 as we go through Goulburn Junction. Like, I wonder why the speed limit is not 125, because I don't think the corners are that tight. Maybe it's because of the bridges, because that bridge looks fairly close to the track. Speed limit is now 90 miles an hour. I think we should get to 125 after we leave Warrington Bank Quay. So, Wigan has two stations, Wigan North Western on the West Coast Mainline and Wigan Wargate on the Southport line. I think in Train Sim you can do the line from Wigan Wargate to Southport, I think. But you can't do, at the moment, you can't do Wigan Wargate to Manchester. Speed limit is now 100. 180. So accelerate to 100, then slow down to 80. There's also a neutral section coming up. Eventually. If we could get a decent frame rate, that is. So braking for the 80 limit. Gently. So Warrington has three stations. You've got Warrington Bank Quay on the main West Coast Main Line, with trains to Chester, Leeds, Manchester. I think that's it. Well, the more regional trains, but in terms of intercity trains, you've got Birmingham New Street, London Euston, Glasgow Central, Edinburgh. I think that's it as well. You got Warrington Central and Warrington West on the Liverpool to Manchester line, with trains to Liverpool, Lime Street, Norwich, Manchester, Oxford Road, Manchester Airport. Please don't crash. Here is where we're joining the line from Newton and Willows and Earlstown from Manchester. And the speed limit went down to 80 and I forgot about it. So Warrington Bank Quay is about 3 miles away. We should also pass by Warrington Royal Mail Terminal. Where Western Mail trains stop on the way between Willesden and Shilmere. Or some trains terminate in Warrington. So yeah, I really do like the West Coast Main Line missing link, because it's near where I live, even if it is on the other side of Manchester, or Greater Manchester. Come on, frame rate. Come on. So yeah, in Warrington Bank Quay, we are due into platform 2, so speed limit goes down to 80 then back up to 90, because there's a sharp curve after the Royal Mail Terminal. On the left is Warrington Royal Mail Terminal. Yeah, soon, when the entire West Coast Main Line is in train sim, we can actually do like mail trains from Willesden to Shilmere and the other way around. It's so cool. And we can do the Caledonian Sleeper. Like, start off from London Euston, go to Carstairs, then divide, and then continue to Glasgow. That'll be cool. So Warrington Bank Quay is in a mile. Crossing over it shortly, it should be the Liverpool to Manchester line via Warrington. I think it's called the Cheshire line. Come on, frame rate. Come on. There we go. So in Warrington Bank Quay, I'm aiming to stop at the end of the platform, mainly because you can barely fit the whole train in. I should also point out that this train is formed of 11 coaches. bring our speed off nicely. Also, on the right should be the giant Unilever factory. I have seen a few placements at Unilever for, I think it's supply chain or something like that. I don't remember if I applied for any of them. Might have done, or might not. I remember the factory being bigger. So this is Warrington Bank Quay. Change here for services to Chester and Manchester and Liverpool. So arrival into Warrington Bank Quay. The next stop is Crewe, arriving at 8:43. For 60 forward, return the gap buzzer and power to notch 3. So, departing Warrington Bank Quay, the speed limit is 90 miles an hour and we have 24 miles to Crewe. So on the left is Warrington Apsley Yard, and the line going off on the right goes to Chester via Runcorn East. But we're going straight on towards Crewe. The speed limit is now going up to 100 miles an hour. And taking a look outside, we are in the debranded Pendolino reskin by I think it's called Blue Warrior Railways. I think it's called the Virgin Trains 390 Park or something. It's pretty much a flowing silk 390 and some debranded Pendolinos as well. Whoa. I think he was going to Preston from London or Birmingham. Yeah, speed limit is going off to 125 in about a mile. There should also be a line joining from the left, which comes from Apsley Yard. It's a very steep gradient. Yeah, I think Alan Thomson once in a stream he did a few weeks ago. He was trying to get a stone train up the hill, as in this direction. But yeah, he kind of stalled it. And then he had to do a hill climb with a stone train on that incline. It was funny. So put speed set on at 99 miles an hour. And the speed limit is now going up to whatever that says. Yeah, it says 125, but yeah, it's kind of broken. So passenger view, it is exactly the same, nothing's changed. So accelerate the train up to 124, then press C for speed set. I would use the new Dovetail 390, but I didn't buy it because everyone was saying that was crap. I hope Dovetail bring back the Pendolino someday. Maybe like the new Avanti livery. So what Dovetail could do is use the new model, but instead of being in the Virgin livery, they could put it in the new Avanti livery. It's bound to happen. I mean, you can't have train sim without a Pendolino in it. If you're focused on the West Coast Mainline. So our next instruction is to go via Acton Bridge platform 2 in about 5 miles. Yeah, I want to do something different. You just have to wait and find out what that bit different is. Well, if we get there, if I could actually get a decent frame rate. I mean, the route does run really smoothly. Like, at the moment I'm getting like 20-30 FPS. But it's that when train sim decides to load the next tile, it starts to stutter a lot. And I think this happens like every 10 seconds. Like, how small are these tiles that train sim loads? Why can't you just make them a lot bigger? I mean, my computer has 16 gig of RAM. I mean, just use it all. And they have a 2.7 gigahertz Intel i5 CPU, and I have an AMD Radeon R5 330 graphics card. No tunnel. Yeah, if I had like dynamic lighting turned on, I could do like night scenarios, and I could actually show the inside of a tunnel without it looking weird. This is Weaver Junction, where the line from Runcorn and Liverpool join. So next point of interest is a giant viaduct that I've forgotten the name of. It begins with D and ends in M. Speed limit still 125 at Weaver Junction. Oh yeah, I should also say that the frame rate around Crewe will significantly drop because it has to load in Basford Hall, because Crewe Station and Crewe Basford Hall, they're not that far apart from each other. And if you saw my other video on the 66 between Acton and Crewe, yeah, going through Crewe at 10 miles an hour felt like a slideshow. So Acton Bridge in less than a mile, so go across a viaduct then through Acton Bridge, and at Acton Bridge the track will go into 4, where the 2 on the left are the slow lines, I think, and then 2 on the right are the fast lines. The slow lines go off somewhere, I don't remember where, and then there's 2 fast lines continue straight on towards Crewe. This is Acton Bridge, even though it is nowhere near Acton. The train has caught fire and has stopped in Winsford station. You will be stuck behind the train and head and pass through the Winsford at no faster than 5 miles per hour. Okay, I can do that. So we got Acton Bridge, Hertford, Winsford and Crewe. Okay, last time we came down here, the freight train didn't stop in Winsford as long as it should. So in Winsford, the text box said there was a train stop there, but when you actually got to Winsford, there was nothing there. So hopefully the freight train should have actually stopped in Winsford and not carried on. So I think the speed limit should be 125 all the way to Crewe. Hopefully we should see some trains being backed up behind each other just after Winsford. Also near Hertford we should see some double yellows. Yeah, I just wanted to make this scenario more interesting. This is Hertford Station. Okay, we should be seeing a double yellow soon. There we go. So put it into maximum brake because we don't have that much space to stop. So we got a double yellow, which means we need to stop at the next signal. So this one is a signal yellow. And then the next one after that will be at danger. yellow, which means we need to stop at the next signal, not station. It also said to pass through Winsford at no faster than 5 miles an hour as a safety precaution. 26. So just cruise here at 25 miles an hour until we get to the danger aspect, which is 0.85 miles away. You can see it in the distance, a danger aspect. So gently bring our speed off, just so we don't get spad. So the thing about TPWS is that if you pass a danger aspect, or if you go over the TPWS grid when there's a danger aspect up ahead, any faster than 20 miles an hour, the emergency brake will apply. So it prevents trains from passing spads or signals of danger. So if you don't know what spad means, it means signal pass at danger. If you don't know what danger means, danger is pretty much a red aspect. So red means there's danger ahead, like another train or some incident or some obstruction. I don't know what the penalties are for spad. I think it's firing, maybe? I don't know. Of course, you can pass danger signals if you have permission from the signaller. Like if we wanted to couple two trains together, in which case one train would have to occupy the space of another train for them to couple up together. So just slowly crawling up to this danger aspect. So brake to about 2.5 miles an hour. Yeah, this is very entertaining, just crawling along the track at like 2 miles an hour. Okay, we now have a single yellow aspect, which means we can proceed. I guess the authorities have made the upline clear. So I did look on the map and it shows that the freight train did leave early, which sucks. I think that's like a persistent bug in train sim. It's like if you tell a train to wait somewhere for a really long time, it doesn't. So I timetabled the freight train to wait in Winsford until after we passed, but it seems the freight train didn't do that. So the freight train was the thing that I wanted to catch on fire. Don't take it out of context. So start braking, because the signal is literally just up ahead. So yeah, so the inspiration for this was, I think a few weeks ago I saw a video on YouTube of a 180 stopped in Wigan North on the East Coast Mainline, because one of the coaches caught fire. And so the 180 just sat in Wigan North for about a few hours. So trains were allowed to continue in the down direction for a while. And then after that, all the trains that were backed up behind the 180 just came trundling through one after each other. So that's where I got the inspiration. Didn't really turn out very well because of train sim bugs. So Winsford is now coming up. Stop braking because we need to pass through at no faster than 5 miles an hour. So when we pass through the station, just imagine there's a train there. So imagine a Class 90 on the front and then some container flats with Tesco on the side. So pass through the station at no faster than 5 miles an hour. 15, 14, 13. So yeah, as I just said, just imagine there's a train there with people, like firefighters, and what's the other person called? The MOM. I think it's called Mobile Operations Manager. So pass through the station at no faster than 5 miles an hour. Must be pretty weird to see a Pendle crawl through a station at 5 miles an hour instead of the usual 125. Yeah, some people do really hate the bugs in trains. Like, if you tell a train to wait on a platform for about half an hour, you expect it to wait there for half an hour, not like 2 seconds. So anyway, this is Winsford. I think I have been here before, but a really, really long time ago. So the line goes into a quad track. I think this goes as far as Shrubber Tunnel near Stafford. Well, it's between Stafford and Colwich. So it's a quad track all the way to near Colwich. Even though I think the layout changes after Crewe. So here we have the down slow on the right, we're on the down fast, then you got the up fast, and then the up slow. So we'll be on the up fast all the way to Crewe, which is in the next 7 miles. We're also due into platform number 5. So Crewe is a massive station, not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. I think Crewe has like 12 platforms, all of varying length. So platform 1, so if you're looking south, platform 1 is on the far right, which serves trains to London and Manchester. Well, not local northern trains to Manchester. Platform 2, 3 and 4 are bay platforms heading south, mainly used by East Mids to Derby and LNWR to Euston. Platform 5 is for intercity trains to London Euston. Platform 6 is on the other side of the station. On the other side of the station after the fast lines, which serves trains heading north, either to like Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Holyhead, Chester, Wrexham, London. Platform 7 is a bay platform facing north, which serves trains to Chester by Transport for Wales. Platform 8 is another bay platform heading north. I think it's heading south with trains to like Salisbury. They got 9 and 10 on the other side as well, heading south. Then 11 and 12 are through platforms for trains heading north. Again to Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Holyhead, London, Wrexham, Chester. So yeah, Crewe is a big station. But then the yards around it are even bigger. Because you have Crewe Electric Depot, you have the Diesel Depot, you have Basford Hall, you have Acton Bridge Depot. So yes, Crewe is massive. if I can get a decent frame rate. So our speed set should hold us at 125 miles an hour. So when we get to Crewe, we are going no further because this train continues straight to London Euston via the Trent Valley, instead of going to Stafford and coming off towards Wolverhampton. Yeah, I still have to do the south bit of Crewe because I haven't done that in video yet. So what I could do next is like Crewe to Stonewall and Dudley. Start braking. Eventually. Come on. Warning of 80 miles an hour. I think this is out of Crewe where the lag starts. So speed limit is going down to 60 before going into Crewe. So at Crewe we come off the down main and into platform 5. Actually, yeah, here's up, like, yeah. You can tell there's a lot to load when not even the catenary loads. So far, it's not that bad. So put brake to maximum, but not as far as emergency. But we're thinking yellow, and we have a theatre box of 5. So we'll let the brakes a bit. On the right is the APT, which is being preserved. I think he's called Gary, Jerry, whatever his name is. I think we have to go wave at him, as the tradition is. Hello. Line from the left joins from Manchester. Line from the right joins from Chester. How are we on time? Anyway, don't think about it. Like, we quarter a station at 5 miles an hour and we're still somehow on time. Crewe at 8:45. Well, we're not that late. I think my original ETA was 9 o'clock. So somehow I've managed to get here like 10 minutes early. The Avanti Pendolino to Preston with 1 Sierra 42. So Crewe is a really good station to be at because there's literally anything could turn up, mainly at Aggressive Bridge. But one drawback of Crewe is that 99% of the freight goes through the avoiders, and you can't see them. There's also a nice chippy down the street. So this is Crewe, where the video ends. So thank you so much for watching me drive this Pendolino from Wigan to Crewe. And follow me on Twitter for future video updates. Follow me on Twitch for live streams. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. So this is Crewe. Change here for services all over the United Kingdom.